Hello, hello, beautiful. So, today, let's talk about something most people never question: a 9 to 5. Not the job itself, but the belief system underneath it. And as someone who was a stay at home mom for 7 years, I could never wrap my head around the concept of working a 9 to 5 to find value or self worth. It just never really resonated with my spirit. And this is no shade to anyone working, because I understand that we live in a society where paying your bills are a necessity, and most people only know how to make money by working a 9 to 5. So this is not to shade anyone. I just simply want to talk about the difference between the 9 to 5 program versus the divine flow. Because somewhere along the way, humanity agreed on a story that money can only come through struggle and hard work, through time traded for survival, through effort that drains you, through doing work that has nothing to do with your soul. And because this story has been repeated for so many generations, it doesn't even feel like a belief anymore. It feels like a reality. But here is the question that no one asks: if the human mind can be programmed to believe that sitting in a building for 8 hours creates money, why can't the human mind be programmed to believe that alignment creates money? Why is one considered realistic and the other is considered delusional? Because both are beliefs, both are agreements, both are energetic patterns repeated by the collective. One is inherited and the other is chosen. I chose to follow my soul purpose. Many people may not agree with that. Many people may think that I'm foolish or lazy, but I think that I'm taking the higher route by not limiting myself to a 9 to 5. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because whether you believe it or not, a lot of this a lot of us operate in contracts, in agreements with the universal laws. So a 9 to 5 is not just a schedule, it is an identity agreement. It says, my value comes from productivity, my survival comes from permission, my time belongs to something outside of me. And listen, there is no shame. I cannot emphasize this enough. There is no shame or no shade to anyone working a job. None whatsoever. Because you got to get this money how you deem fit. But there is a problem when you believe that is the only channel through which your life can support you. Because now your nervous system ties safety to labor instead of existence. You were trained to believe that if you don't work, you have no worth. If you don't have any effort, then there's no income. If there's no exhaustion, if you're not working hard and feeling tired, then you won't succeed. But that is not the law of the universe. That is a social program. And I'm going to tell you how this programming works. Programming is simply repetition plus emotion. So, you saw adults wake up early, tired, stressed, saying, I have to go to work or we won't make it or the bills won't get paid. Your body absorbed that, your subconscious mind recorded that, and your identity formed around that. And this has been happening to you since you were a child, from the moment you entered primary school. So now, when you imagine money coming through ease, creativity, and alignment, your body rejects it. Your nervous system panics, not because it's impossible, but because it's unfamiliar. And the body often confuses unfamiliar with unsafe. Okay? And here's what most people misunderstand about this conversation: flow does not mean do nothing, alignment does not mean avoid contribution, ease does not mean zero effort. It means your energy is not fighting itself. It means the work that you're doing is connected to who you are, your soul, your spirit. It means your gifts become your channel. It means your nervous system is regulated, not in survival mode. A regulated body creates better ideas, clearer decisions, stronger intuition, magnetic presence. This is not laziness. Flow is not laziness, it is coherence. And coherence is productive in a way force never is. Lastly, money responds to value, not suffering. Somewhere we learn that money respects sacrifice. But look around you. Money moves towards ideas, energy, confidence, creativity, leadership, and authenticity. And none of these require a time clock. They require self trust. The 9 to 5 model says, prove your worth through time. Alignment says, express your worth through being. Both generate an income, but one is going to drain your life force and the other is going to circulate. So now you're at a point where you're either going to continue to believe that a 9 to 5 is the only way you're capable of making money and sustaining yourself, or you're going to consider having another belief, which is your existence within itself can bring you an income simply just by being. So if you believe your whole life that money only comes through force, your body, your system is going to reject that at first. You can't just jump from saying, I work a 9 to 5 to money falls from the sky. You have to start gradually. Start with a new belief such as, life can support me in more ways than I thought. Then you can also incorporate, my gifts are valuable. Then you could say, there are aligned ways for me to receive. Then you can say, I am being safe, being supported, doing the work that feels true to me. This is how you loosen your survival programming, not through rebellion, but through rewiring. Okay? So I need you to understand another thing. You are not just here to earn, to just make a check. You are here to express. Expression is your birthright, okay? It is a part of who you are as a human being. And when expression becomes your foundation, instead of fear, money becomes a byproduct instead of a master. So some people will choose a job, but from power, not panic, from preference, not programming. That's freedom. Because you could 100% work a 9 to 5 and not be a slave. You're choosing to go into this job because you understand that it's going to give you something that you want, and you're still able to express yourself and have some sort of autonomy. You understand what I'm saying? That is a 9 to 5 that creates freedom. But not all 9 to 5s do that. Most don't. So there's really no escaping work, but you can escape the belief that suffering is required for survival. So the real question is not, should I quit my job? The real question is, do I believe life only supports me through struggle? Because if that belief can be installed, it can also be uninstalled. And when you begin operating from alignment instead of fear, you don't stop working, you start creating. And creation has always been your natural state. You are the co-creator of your life. You are creating your life every single day. Do not allow time to pass you by without operating in your birthright as a co-creator. Peace and love.